One, two. 1, 2. I'm back on the microphone. Loving life. Hello, hello, hello. This is Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal Women's Football Club. Yeah, they're going to play some football. Woo. Great. Oh, of course, I'll keep going. Yeah, hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. I'll sit back a bit actually, because they might not sit forwards. So this is them sitting back, potentially. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Great. Perfect, no worries, that's totally fine. I'll keep going because I see other people adjusting things. So, hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do, yes. I'll try the other microphone now. Though I believe they're at the same level, so I'll sit back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone good? Everyone happy? Perfect, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's if they lean forwards, and this is what they should be if they're just leaning backwards. Perfect, thank you all so much. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's awful hearing yourself back, isn't it? It's just the worst. Oh, okay, I'll keep going. I've not got many interesting things left to say at this point, but I'll give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Is everyone happy, or am I still trapped? No, it's fine. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, perfect. 3.
Bruce, your phone is causing this, everything to hum. It's causing all the cameras to hum. Your phone is.
No, it's not. No, it's none of these. Yeah, they're all really low already. It's not these. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Hang on, let me put it onto their shots, guys. Yeah? Is that right? Sure?
I don't think that
Every time you get one step closer, it's like,
Probably hope, because I've done some presses before. No, I wouldn't know that.
Just did.
Huh?
Just did.
No. Oh, I can't work out, so I can't remember the picture.
Yeah, and you just press the airplane mode. That was it.
apparently she's left it like,
And it just immediately.
yeah, like,
Cool.
that is so nice. So silly.
Do you know when the cable mounting is?
You just mess it up.
The T-Tron.
So you went on the trading a lot there. Yeah?
Still okay? Still okay?
All good. Sorry? Leaflets.
Something else. I mean, cameras are buzzing.
Haven't seen the leaflets.
Chelsea one. No, Chelsea going Lucy Bronze already, right? Will the goalkeeper make it 233rd appearance? Oh yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone in the room and those joining us on the call. As you can see, joined by Leah and Renee to look ahead to our Champions League quarter-final tomorrow night at the Emirates. As ever, we've got about 20 to 30 minutes with Renee and Leah, and we'll kick off with the broadcast section. Emma from Sky.
Hi both, hope you're well. Just starting with you, Renee, do you have any updates on team news?
Let me think about last game. We have everyone available apart from Lotte Wubbemoy.
And do you think, is it too soon for Victoria Flova to start?
Yeah, so I won't share too much here in the press conference, but of course she comes back from a long-term injury. She made her comeback. She did great. We're very happy for her last Saturday, and we just have to find the right trajectory for her to come back and keep her healthy and also bring her back into the team. So she's definitely available. That's why she's in the squad.
Sorry, Dan, the audio is unusable on this. We're just getting a massive hum. It's just, we've got a huge...
Is that okay? Okay, we'll just pause for a second, guys.
Sorry guys, but yeah.
We'll just pause any live links.
You guys all okay? No? Yeah?
With Wi-Fi?
No, I don't think it's you, Ian. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Dan, what have you done? Have you seen this?
The company is locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
It's
Yeah,
up
it's
here.
cool.
I have one that says guns.
Really?
Yeah,
This is the old logo, I think Lotte said.
yeah, it's the
Yeah, I think
one of
it's
the
that
first.
over.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the first.
I think
It's how my mum writes her A's.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, is Amanda, but yeah,
Ah.
that's how she, from a kid, that's how she always used to do it. Now it's stuck.
Well,
This has got a microphone to the table.
Yeah, I guess it's for the
it's
TV.
okay for me.
Ready to
All
roll?
good?
Okay. Yeah, Emma, same question if that's okay.
Great. Little false start there, guys. Welcome again. We'll begin with Emma.
Hi both, so starting with Renee, do you have any updates on team news?
Everyone available apart from Lotte Wubbemoy.
And is it too soon for Victoria Flova to start?
She comes back from a long-term injury, so we have to bring her back carefully. Of course, she got her first minutes back in the team last Saturday. She did really well. We're very happy for her, and now we have to find the right way for her to come back into the squad.
And you potentially need 3 goals tomorrow. Could we see an attacking starting 11?
We want to balance tomorrow, so obviously we're aware of Real Madrid's threat as well. But we know what we need to do tomorrow, so we try to make the right decisions, and we have a lot of quality in the squad, both from a starting and a finishing perspective.
And a question for both of you. Is the season on the line with this game, do you think?
It's the biggest week, I suppose, that we've had in terms of staying in, or biggest month. We've had competitions, knockout competitions. This game's no different. So I think the work that we've done, you can see a direction that we're going in, and we need to make results matter and count for us always as a football club, so the focus never shifts, but we can't think about those sorts of things. We just focus on the task in hand in the next game, and we're always trying to win, obviously.
And Real Madrid beat Arsenal and Barcelona in 1 week. Have we underestimated just how good they are?
I don't know if anybody else underestimates them. I don't think we ever did. I think we've respected what their strengths are, the players that they have. A Champions League is competitive as ever once you get to these stages. So I think the results don't shock me. They have quality, but we think we also do. So those games are they're highly competitive these days, and you want to be the one that comes out on top.
How much of an importance will the home advantage in playing at the Emirates be?
Well, we think if you want to play at the highest level and you want to win games, then you have to be able to deal with any circumstance. So, of course, you need to play 50% of your games at home and 50% away from home. So I think in a perfect world, we deal with both scenarios really well, and that's where we want to get to. But we also know that the Emirates is good for us. The pitch is good, facilities are good. We can prepare very well to perform, and also we at Boreham Wood, when we play there, we can have a lot of fans close to us. It's an intimate setting, but of course Emirates is much bigger, and I think us together with the fans, when we're at our best, we can create something magical, and they give us that extra edge. So we really thrive at the Emirates. So everything is set up for us to perform, but then it's still about ourselves, what we bring to the game tomorrow.
And would you say the Emirates pitch suits your style of play better?
Yeah, like I said, we have a style of play where we want to be on the ball a lot, where we want to move the ball, passes, and of course it's going to be easier on a golf court than on rocks. But we have to deal with any circumstance, and if the competition rules say that this pitch is clear to play, then we have to play on it, and we have to deal with it. But yeah, we like good pitches, of course. I think any team does.
And lastly, for Leah, is this the biggest game at the Emirates since the Wolfsburg semi-final a few years ago?
I suppose in the circumstance, yes. We have a lot to do. Champions League quarter-final. We're not in the other two cups anymore, so yeah, I suppose it is in a way. But I would argue that every game that we play, and it's not just words. Especially stepping out of the Emirates on the occasion that it is every time, when that many people turn up to watch you, then we take it seriously, and every game is important to us. But yeah, I'd say in terms of the challenges ahead, it's an exciting one at the very least.
Thanks, Emma. Ian.
Hi to both of you. Renee, can I just continue with the theme about the Emirates? Last week, obviously, the pitch was, I think a lot of people thought was unacceptable to play on. There was no VAR or goal line technology. You're going to have all that in your favour tomorrow night. Can you just explain how much of an advantage that does give you, with also the fact that it could go to extra time and maybe an extra half an hour?
I still want to bring it back to two teams competing in the same circumstances. So that's what we did away in Madrid, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So it's still about what we bring to the game, how well we prepare, what our mindset is when we go into the game, and what intensity and quality we can bring on the pitch. So I don't want to go to that point, but like I said before, I think every team likes to play on a good football pitch.
In terms of having to pull back a 2-goal advantage, do you go for it right from the start, or do you just see how the first half plays out and then maybe go for it in the second half? I mean, how, in your own mind, what ideally would you like to see happen tomorrow night?
Football is not. I can visualize in my head how the game should look, but football is unpredictable, and that's the magic about it, I think, and that's why people come to the stadium. You don't know what's going to happen. So yes, in an ideal world, I have a picture in my head what happens across those 90, 100 minutes. But we also have to plan for all possible scenarios. And the one thing that I know that we are going to be, and the players are going to be, is that we're going to be calm and composed, and we have a belief during the whole game that we can do it.
And this is the biggest game, I presume it is the biggest game of your managerial career?
I don't think, I never think about it that way. I think all games are important. If you're coaching Arsenal, then all games matter. So everything is important, and tomorrow is as well. So it's for me another game, but I know what it means for a lot of people. It means a lot for us as well as a team. But I think I need to prepare every game as 100% as good as possible. So same this game.
Yeah, yesterday was 100 days until you started the defence of the European Championships that you won with the Lionesses. You've obviously played in much bigger games for Arsenal, for England, than tomorrow night. So how much is your experience going to be worth to some of the players that haven't played in massive games?
I think we're very lucky here in terms of that stage tomorrow night isn't foreign to us. You know, Arsenal, being part of Arsenal means that you play in front of big crowds and you're competing always with every team. But I think there's a lot more experience than me in the team also with these sorts of situations. So I'll play my role, play my part. I think the experience of overturning the last quarterfinal against Bayern Munich, I think that comes in handy for anybody that played in that game. I think that was a great memory. You know, good things happen in football, bad things happen in football, and when the good things happen, you keep them in your pocket and just as much as the bad, but you call on them when you need them. So I think anybody that was involved in that game will take confidence from that, knowing that we know how to do it. Almost, you know, identical situation.
Arsenal, the only women's team to have won the European Cup in this football. Why is that? Why is it, when we've gone about, especially the last 3 or 4 years, WSL, why is it so hard to win this tournament for an English team?
I wish I knew the answer to that, because we could have maybe done something about it. I think we have a competitive league. I think football in England is potentially played slightly differently to how it is across the world. So what you face every day is different to potentially what you face in the Champions League. But that's a bigger. You've stumped me out. I don't know the answer to that. I'd be plucking something out. So I think it comes down to the more that we are in these. You know, we were out of this competition for a long time before we came back into it, however many years ago. So I think the inexperience of English clubs in these competitions doesn't probably play into our favour as much as the other, you know, what the other teams have. But yeah, I think the goal is for an English club to win this. I know from like a FA perspective and a WSL perspective, I know that. So it's up to one of us to make it happen. And I know the people that came before me that won that Champions League for Arsenal want us to be the only club to have done it. So that we take that on as well.
Yeah, that seems to matter finally quite a lot. Whether you talk to people in men's football where Arsenal haven't won it, and you know teams like Chelsea have, it's always pointed out that Chelsea won it, Arsenal haven't. I guess it's nice to have for you to be at least the only club to have done it, and to do it twice would be incredible. Right?
It would be incredible. I'm an Arsenal fan. I grew up at this club, so that's the dream. I think it's a dream for everybody, and we keep working until that becomes possible and we can make that happen. And tomorrow night is another step in that journey. Thank you.
Excellent. Joe.
Yeah, off the back of the first game, you take into account the results, the weather, the pitch, the performance.
Yeah.
Were the players angry? And if you were, how much do you have to utilise that tomorrow night?
I think there was a general feeling that we wasted a potential opportunity. As Renee said, 2 teams play on the same pitch. The pitch wasn't at the standard that it needed to be, but we both played on it. I think that anger is more frustration at ourselves because we know what we can do and we didn't. So yeah, I think also I don't know, sometimes you can take a little bit of, we know that we have more, and that's frightening for other teams also, because I think the game, we were still competitive. We need to score goals. That's what it comes down to, and we need to stop them. So I think, yeah, we were frustrated, but more so ourselves than anything else, because pitch, weather, whatever it is, standards of Arsenal are higher than they were last Wednesday.
We know this team have come back from different results before, and I know there'll be a lot of belief in this dressing room, but as one of those leaders, what have you been saying to those around you in the build-up to this game?
I think it's, firstly, the focus is on us. If we played a perfect game last week and we got beat by a perfect game from the other team, that can sometimes be football, but that wasn't the case. So it's about us taking individual responsibility first and foremost and making sure that everybody stays present in that. And I think everyone has a role to play in it, but yeah, if the leaders of the team step up in that way, which I think we have a lot of those, and I think a lot of people have stepped up in different ways over the last couple of weeks. And I think the results in recent times that we have scored goals in quick succession, turn games around, that does give us a lot of confidence. So it's about keeping everybody calm, staying on the job, so to speak, and just doing what we know we can do. It's important that we do it tomorrow.
Art.
Hi guys, I'll start with Leah, if that's alright. At the start of the season, you mentioned the Bayern game as like a core memory for your kind of Champions League journey. I was just wondering, between that first leg and the second leg, can you remember what I guess your thought process as well and the team's was as well? And I guess, was that important, or was it just it came down to what happened in that 90 minutes?
Well, it's the same situation. Football doesn't stop, so you have a different task. We had a different task to focus on leading up to Saturday, and then we've had a new one again going to tomorrow. It was very similar circumstances, so there's a lot, I suppose, that what we've spoken about today was the same back then. We had a great second half finish where we put them under a lot of pressure, and we wanted to pick up exactly where we left off, and that's the aim for tomorrow as well.
And Renee, we spoke to Leah a few months back, and if I
You're smiling. It looks like you're going to say something that's going to get me in trouble.
if I misquote this, correct me. But Leah basically said you helped with, I guess, keeping her, I guess, perfectly charged, so not being too much of a fan when she's on the pitch. And I was wondering if you could kind of explain what was behind that and how you kind of went about doing that.
Now it sounds like we've had therapy sessions. So no, it's I think where Leah comes from, but you're better at saying this than me probably, but comes from a history of being an Arsenal fan, of course. So Arsenal means a lot for Leah, and I think there's a lot of things that mean a lot to you in your life. Anyway, so focusing on the task at hand, I think that's my learning in life, and I believe that makes teams perform if players are aware of what they need to do in the moment here and now, because thinking about history and thinking about what lies in the future is not going to help you in the moment, and that's especially in sports. When you have 90 minutes to play, then you have to be in the here and now, and I think that's important, and Leah and me have had conversations about it, and that's basically it. So yeah, don't know if that summarizes what
You
we've
both
been
did a
doing.
fantastic job.
And I was just wondering, are you familiar with, so there's a clip from a Jose Mourinho press conference years ago where he was talking about football heritage, and it kind of reminded me of what Leah was talking about earlier in terms of English teams not really having much experience in the Champions League, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on, being, in the competition in the latter rounds, repeat times, and what is the value of it beyond just saying a word like experience?
I think there's also globalization going on, so I think football starts to look the same more and more across countries, and you see players from different countries, you see coaches from different countries, so I think the product is looking more and more the same, but there's still a spectrum of how football is played and what it means culturally, and I think the more you do that, but I think we get those challenges in the WSL as well, because we play against teams that have different playing styles and have different backgrounds or ideas about football and how they want to go about it. So yeah, I think we get those challenges. So I don't know exactly. I haven't seen the Jose Mourinho football house. I'll go and have a look. But yeah.
Cheers, Jamie.
Renee, I just wanted to ask, over the last fortnight, you've kind of had this anomaly where you faced Liverpool in the FA Cup, then you faced Madrid, and then you faced Liverpool again, and now you've got Madrid again. And obviously the early loss in the FA Cup, come back and corrected those mistakes at the Emirates on Saturday. As a manager, what have you learned about yourself? Because it felt like you really did adapt and you played the game, played away from Liverpool's strengths, and you have a chance to do that again tomorrow. So just what have you learned about yourself and your ability to adapt under those circumstances?
I think always trying to learn. I'm learning every day. So discussing with colleagues, discussing with players, taking input from other places, but I always try to reflect on myself as well. So I always try to learn. I think it's something we do together as well as a staff, so I'm not sitting here and I think, and with players, so I'm really happy with what we did against Liverpool, of course. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a different challenge, and like I've been saying, we try to plan for all scenarios, and we'll see what the game gives us tomorrow. We will try and take as much control of the game, and I think that's when we're at our best as well, but at moments you have to suffer, and we'll have to go through that as well. But we have plans, and that's probably my learning, that make sure you plan for everything, because then when the moment comes, you can be calmer with your decision making. But also, whatever the result and whatever the emotions around you, to try and stay and go in your direction, just calm and composed. And so that's a big challenge, and that's probably the biggest learnings for me the last couple of weeks.
And Leah, thanks for your time. I just wanted to reflect. Obviously, we speak to Renee a lot about the group and the intensity of the group, but you're, peering back the curtain, you're a player, you're a leader in this team. It feels like Arsenal have a really good ability to come back from deficits and really, when they're kicked down, come back. We saw it at West Ham, we saw it at Bayern Munich 2 years ago, Wolfsburg even, there was a deficit there.
Yeah.
What do you think it is with this group? What's special about this group and that ability to kind of regroup in adversity?
I think, firstly, you don't ever want to end up in that situation, and I think genuinely it comes from the frustration of when you know what you can do, then when you end up in a situation like that, or there's a deficit, or you're trailing in a game, it feels we look at ourselves first. I do think that is the case. Like I say, it's very different if you play all out. I go to Wolfsburg second leg, we have however many players on the bench, etc., etc. Those different experiences, you give everything and it's just not enough. That's different. But when you're underperforming, then you look inwards first. The team is very good at doing that, at problem solving, at talking to each other, staying together, and then the product of that recently has been great, which is good. But it's something that you have to constantly work on. It's something that on the pitch you can't take it for granted. And they're themes that we always have running through the group. Like there's no days off. You can't work at full intensity every day because you have to manage training sessions, etc. But they're being present and being impactful with what you say, when you say it, and your actions in that way towards your teammates. I don't think we have days off when it comes to those things, or at least we try not to, which I think then feeds into the strength of the group.
Brilliant. Thanks, Brent. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi Renee. So on the weekend, I thought we were so successful because the way the wing players were able to get behind Liverpool's fullbacks and kind of put those crosses in. How key do you think players like Chloe Kelly and Caitlin Ford, with their pace on the wing, are going to be going into a fixture like this against such a pacey side?
We have so much different quality in the squad, and they are just two examples. I think when we're at our best, we have a lot of different threat in different places on the pitch, and that's when we create dilemmas for opposition. And all players play their role in it, both the players that start and the players that finish the game. And so, yeah, they are important players, but everyone on the pitch is very important to create those dilemmas for opposition.
Thank you. And Leah, you guys kind of sort of didn't go so your way last week against Real Madrid, but then came back on Saturday with an amazing performance at the Emirates. But Madrid also had a good result this weekend against Barcelona. As a player, kind of how do those successful wins against teams you've lost to earlier in the season kind of prepare you for a big fixture like this going in? Does it give confidence, or how does it set you up?
Yeah, like I say, we have proven to ourselves that we can turn things around. That gives us confidence, but we are very much, task in hand, like Renee says. So Saturday Liverpool was a completely different task, but you're in the moment preparing and trying to get the most out of yourself, which then subsequently makes the next game easier. So I think the confidence comes from the fact that when we talk and we talk about a direction, like I said, Liverpool, Real Madrid, two very different opponents, but compare how we played against them in the FA Cup to the league, it's a big difference. We've proven that we can, and like I say, we have a big task ahead of us tomorrow, but one that, I don't know anyone that's shying away from it. We just need to try and get over the line tomorrow, and I have every faith that we have what we need to do that. We just need to get out of ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. We'll come to Marta at the back.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Marta from AS. I have two questions for you. For Renee, Real Madrid beat Barcelona on Sunday, and it was a historic win. Did you watch the match? And it can help you in any way for the tomorrow's game? The other question, have you trained penalty kicks today?
Yes, I watched the game, Barcelona Madrid. So yeah, I definitely watched it. I think the whole staff watched it and live, and then we reviewed the game the next morning. So, but we always do very detailed work on opposition. So yeah, you see those two teams in La Liga fighting. It was a good game. I think they both tried to play their game as much as possible. So yeah, it was good to see a lot of learnings, and yeah, of course we saw that Madrid came away with a 3-1 win for the first time in history, I think. So, but that's that, and that's them. So it's about us tomorrow. Second question was about penalty kicks.
Yeah. Did you train the penalty kicks today?
Yeah, so we want to plan and prepare for all possible scenarios that can happen. So that's what we did today on the training pitch.
Thank you. For Leah,
Hi.
as a defender about the penalty kicks, would you take a penalty tomorrow?
That's it. Okay. I think everybody will be ready to step up and do what they needed for the team, but I'm not in charge of who takes penalty kicks or the total list, so I know we have some strong takers in our team, but I wouldn't shy away from it.
And other one for you, Caroline Weir is now the top scorer of history in Real Madrid, and you know well. What do you expect from her tomorrow, and is she difficult to defend?
Yeah, I've known Kaz a long time. She's a player with great qualities on the ball, and she's a clever footballer, so she is difficult to defend. She's somebody that you can't sort of ignore on a football pitch, and I love Kaz, so it's difficult to play against her when you like somebody. But I think she's somebody definitely that we have to be aware of, and she does a lot for their team, as she did on Wednesday. But I hope we have enough experience in our squad as well, players that have played with her and against her to nullify that.
Thanks very much. Starting to wrap up now, Robert.
Renee, I was going to just get your overall assessment of Real Madrid, what you've seen from the first match, and just give an overview on that.
A very disciplined team, I think. They've been developing their play. I think they do things on a high level together. They seem to have a belief in what they're doing, and then they have a couple of individual threats as well going forward.
And Leah, as a defender, the key to shutting them out tomorrow and maintaining a clean sheet if possible.
I think we also have to be very disciplined. A lot of their threat comes with fast attacks. I think we have what we need to match it, but we have to be disciplined and well positioned, ready to do that. And being on the ball is our greatest strength. We just need to make sure that we do that well tomorrow.
Thanks very much, guys. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you.
Obstacle course.
Yeah.